Okay, we don't screen our calls, other than sometimes I say first-time callers only. So I don't know what these callers are going to say to Damon Vickers, but let's not beat him up too bad so he'll come back again with us. Let's talk to Sam in Florida. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. My question is a little bit off the wall from your topic that you've been speaking about, but I'm curious to find out if you've heard on the 26th of this month of Obama having to report his birth certificate to a federal court.
No, I haven't heard about that, Sam, and I appreciate your call. I mean, I think there's something to it. It should be investigated. But at the same time, he's lied about everything. He's a puppet. It's a distraction. Lobbyists, torture, secrecy, wars. I mean, we've got to start worrying about the next puppet they're putting in.
I agree.
That's what my films Follow the Republic try to do. An Obama deception is show the stupid left you're being manipulated. Same with the right wing. Right-wingers buy the video and think they're going to find out about how evil Obama is. Left-wingers see it thinking it's an Obama basher, and they actually find out they've been bamboozled. That's the whole point. They find out it's all a scam. It's all a scam. Let's talk to John in Texas. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. 10-year listener. Just get these quick points out of the way. My perspective is a little unique because I come from, my father was in Air Force intelligence for 18 years. Stationed in Philippines, Colorado Springs, worked for NSA, and just traveling around the country, settling here in Austin. What I did realize is after listening to you especially, that there is something more going on. And what I would like to say is if we utilize the blessings of advanced technology to improve and sustain the lives of the whole population, there's water generators, solar power generators, can help bring fresh water, electricity to the poor. And
that's right, but the elite are suppressing a lot of that and creating monopolies for their own power.
Exactly.
Let's get comments from Damon Vickers on this.
Well, I agree. I don't think you need to bring any more water to the poor or any to mitigate their suffering, because I believe you compound it. There will always be a large to the global population that is poor, of the have-nots. There will always be, and to the extent that we've stepped in and done that, we've created more problems and more warfare, and all you have to do is
stop right there. That is exactly
or Darfur and see the horror and tragedy of our goodwill.
Damon, that's exactly what the globalists say. Cut off their resources. Don't give them new resources because it makes them have more kids.
No, I'm not saying cut off the resources. I would say don't be in. Leave it alone. Leave well enough alone. Let their cultures and their civilizations evolve and progress naturally.
But that's what he's saying. Let them have the technology.
Kentucky Fried Chickens to be happy. That's what I'm saying.
Let them have the technology. Damon, once somebody gets industrialized,
they don't know how to operate it. Leave it alone. Leave them be in their primitive societies, and they'll advance along their own course. So they won't. But maybe it takes a couple of thousand years. Leave them alone. That's what I would say.
But when you leave them alone, they have even more kids.
No, they don't, because you can only run so fast away from the lions. You can't take 10 kids and run away from the lions and the hoarding hyenas, or else they're going to be eaten. That's why the population was in balance.
This sounds like social Darwinism, Vickers.
Okay, well. I think nature there was a lot more balance in places like Africa and South America before.
Very Malthusian. They said that in the 1750s. I disagree with you, John. Anything else to Damon Vickers?
2 quick points. Okay, if you take a flight from Austin to Denver, Colorado, and you're a few thousand feet up, you can see and realize how big our world really is. So overpopulation is a joke. And now, in my opinion, there's a genocide against global middle class, especially against the U.S. here, and that's why I plan on running as a rep for Texas State District 46 against Donna Dukes and other corrupt officials, because that's where it starts. He's got to end it there.
All right, I appreciate your call. We're going to talk to Eon, David, and William on the other side. Damon Vickers is our guest. He's with 9 Points Capital Partners, npm.us. Again, I'm Alex Jones. Our websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv, JonesReport.com, and WhatIsTheEndGame.com. Back in 70 seconds with the third hour. The global engineers are not leaving the third world alone. They're there buying off their politicians. We have this State Department Memorandum 200 by Kissinger. Starting wars, starting famines to try to reduce their numbers. I say industrialize them, educate them, and their numbers will plane off, even if you believe the world's overpopulated. I believe a lot of our technologies are overpopulating, toxins and poisons. It's like the environmentalists in Europe are saying we want GMO to combat global warming. It's all made up. Damon, what do you think of the Copenhagen situation blowing up in their face?
Yeah, it was pretty clever. On the releases were pretty good to counter the greenhouse warming. I mean, in a larger context, everything that happens on the planet is natural, including pollution, because it all comes from here. But we may or may not have operated processes that are acting against us. I don't think you can dispute the fact that there's, increasingly there are large segments of the world that are being polluted by our activities in the lakes and the rivers and the streams.
But they're not doing anything about that. It's all about carbon dioxide. Let's go ahead and talk to Eon in New York. Eon, you're on the air.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Alex.
Welcome.
This guy you got on the show, your guest, he appears to be a globalist because he has all the earmarks of a globalist. He's talking about the third world and how they are just irresponsible. That's not the case.
Well, human beings in general are irresponsible. I don't think it's just the third world. I think it's all of us. A large segment of the third world was westernized too soon, and the consequences have been imbalances globally.
But, Damon, aren't you openly saying that global government is going to be the solution to what you believe is overpopulation?
I think global government will ultimately be the solution that the world chooses as a desire to solve its problems.
Well, that's why we have you here, because
that individual states and countries will have to surrender a large part of their free will and, quote, your term, sovereignty to a global government.
Because the bankers set up internal banking scams to take them over.
I don't know.
To carry out the saving of the earth.
Well, it may not have anything to do with the earth. It may have to do with debt, and I think it's more likely to be around debt and currencies than it is that. But I mean,
sure.
Coming in at a number of different angles probably does give you advantages to have a plan A or a plan B, I suppose.
Eon, anything else, sir, from New York?
Yes, sir. I believe that why westernize everybody? Let people be alone. Respect their cultures.
Agreed.
And let them evolve on their own without any interference.
I totally agree.
But the globalists aren't doing that. The world government's coming in and taking them over. You just said countries had to give up their sovereignty.
Countries will likely have to give up some of their sovereignty in order to be salvaged, basically. But in terms of individualized cultures, no. Individualized cultures should definitely be preserved.
Well, the average third worlder is having 4 children. They're not having 25.
Yeah, there's not much culture left in a lot of the third world. There's just utter poverty and despair and tragedy and suffering.
That tragedy and poverty and suffering were brought to them. Any place that was invaded and after the aftermath is always poverty and suffering.
Not always. Europe wasn't the case, but in the case of the third world and Africa, yes, the arrival of westernized man into those areas was utterly tragic.
Well, here's the deal, Damon. You know Zbigniew Brzezinski. You said when you were a kid you knew him. He brags in a book how we funded Pol Pot.
I did not know. No, I didn't know. I've met him. I didn't.
Okay, you've met him. The point is,
his hand is different than saying that you knew them.
No, I understand. I was trying to finish up and saying that's somebody who you've met, somebody we've confronted. The point is that Kissinger said in '73 they were going to use war and famine to control the third world. I mean, we know this group is not friendly. Damon, I appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate your financial info, npm.us.